Take two, take two. Boy, oh boy. Welcome back to another live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I had to hit the eject button. The internet was just being way too unruly in small cat track. I was looking forward to making a lap and checking in with some of our medium size rescues, but the internet had other plans. But nonetheless, I see a damp Denoma. Denoma, one of our rescued cougars, looks like he didn't mind a brief little rain shower that we had this morning and is kind of wearing it on that thick cougar coat he has. Welcome back, everyone. Tanya Toner, hello again. Ann McKinney, hello, hello. Kathy at the Rock is back. Ellen Simmons says part 2. That's right, Ellen. I'm not going to let him off that easy, Denoma. Welcome back, says Kindred. Same to you. That's right, Hinyata. We did get servals, so we can count it. We got servals, and now we're getting some cougars here. Off goes Denoma into his free-roaming habitat. Noah did make a quick little pit stop right at the beginning of the live. But maybe I can get up and follow Denoma for a second and see if I see Langley. Understandably so, Denoma has his eyes trained on Katrina, one of our animal care interns, who are doing some feeding with Miko, Ripley, and Buddy the Bob. Buddy the Bob. And always great to see how little a human matters to the cats if they don't have food. And who can blame them? Here comes Chatty Langley. Yep, is that your little boyfriend? And I love the tail lift too, Langley. It looks like Denoma is still going to be the most kind of damp of this group. Langley probably was hanging out either inside or in her cave. Andrea Johnson, alas, no caracals. I agree. I was hoping to do a little lap around. This is fun to see a little cougar communion over here. I was hoping to do a lap around small cat track, but as we all witnessed, that Wi-Fi was slapping me around just like the mosquitoes are right now. And so we had to hit the eject button, unfortunately. And I always find that it's Noah who does the most kind of socializing between the 5 wild group here and then the 3 wild group of cougars who are right along a shared wall on the other side of Cougar Cove here. Hey, handsome Noah. Mr. Chatty, too. Good morning, Faith. Checking in from a sunny Wellington, Florida. And Kathy at the Rock. Oh, yes, the skeeters are getting bad. Just all of the rain that we've been getting has just been excellent. Just excellent weather to cultivate masses and masses of mosquitoes here in Minnesota. So I appreciate to see a consistent supply of a mosquito repellent arriving via our Amazon wish list. Those kind of among a variety of items that you are shopping for, and not even on our normal wish lists, but even so many items on a daily basis coming in from our Catio Town wish list. Looks like Terek and Polina are in a nice little spot. Those cougars are kind of cruising around, so I'm gonna jump across the road here and see what Miss Polina and Mr. Terek are doing on this Monday morning. A moist cougar, that is right, Ellen. They're all sporting a little bit of the rain shower on their coats that we received this morning. Getting a nice little reprieve now. I think it's kind of going to be a wet day overall and a wet week in total. And I laugh. This is formerly the tiger trio used to live in this habitat, as we know. And I always laugh because I would come by here for photos or video and want to show them on a live post. But just like them, Polina putting her face right behind that kind of running board there. And Polina's she's a scratcher. She always likes getting her scratches in after or before moving positions. Even hearing some sawing from Shazam. for a moment. Polina, we give you all types of toys and enrichment. I see some hanging watermelon right below you, but of course you think that the banister is what's the most fun, Such is life with cats. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, climbing up to about 55 people joining us live here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. This is take two for our live post. We were up live in Small Cat Track. We did get a little something off the ground. We got to see some of our rescued servals. That would have been Zambuca's group and Nunda's group enjoying their meal. And I made it about a third of the way around Small Cat Track before the internet gave up on us. So we're down here hanging out with, we got to see some cougars. Mr. Denoma enjoying his morning. Of course, here's Tiger Terek. Polina, still scratching. And truthfully, pretty darn good cat weather. You probably see Terek and Polina go flying inside now that their caretakers have pulled up to the building, although maybe they've had their meal. Can't say that I see their food buckets with them. And I mentioned up top, but that's right. Ellen Simmons kind of fawning about how awesome of a time that you had this weekend, which makes me so happy to hear, makes everyone happy to hear. Because a lot of effort went into making that weekend possible, and of course your support being a big part of it. Maybe I should let Leo say how thankful he is, as well as Mansa. But Ellen, so awesome to hear that you had a fantastic time. That really validates all the hard work that went into prepping the sanctuary for that day and making it special for the ones who make all things possible here. So glad to hear it. And it's always fun to see some of those photos from you all who were here during Summer Safari trickle onto our group page of some of the cats you saw and people even, which is fun to see. Ellen Simmons acknowledging Leo and Mansa's very vocal thank you there. You know, Daria, I was thinking the same thing to myself, mentioning love this sound, of course, the sound of lion caroling. These two were super quiet Saturday. I admit that they were too. I had noticed that as, you know, kind of circling around throughout that kind of morning and afternoon, that it seemed to be devoid of some lion carols. But at least we get to at least supplement one here on this live post. But there's nothing like one in person too. Marcy Sanborn says, late today, home renovations going on. Hey everyone. Well, hey Marcy. Cool to hear that you got some things happening on the home front. Maybe the renovations can be inconvenient while they're happening, but surely will be exciting once they're completed. Kathy at the Rock questions stage fright, perhaps. I think that our Lion concert director, Leo, doesn't even know the definition of stage fright. But, you know, maybe they had a big singing day that evening before. Maybe it was a big singing type morning. Of course, here comes Judson walking over, and Mansa's now stood up and is about to disappear into her free-roaming habitat. Admittedly, I did hear Shazam doing some sawing, and I think he's kind of roaming around his habitat. So let's go check in with Shazam here. Kelly Howe saying hi to myself and TWS. Hey, Kelly. Glad to have you with us on this live. And hope you are well wherever you're watching from. Ann McKinney Saturday was so much fun. It was, Ann, and it was great seeing you, and hope you got home safe, and until next time. So thank you. We love hearing that feedback, and we want it to be fun. We want it to be special. We want it to be, kind of an illustration of what your support makes possible. And so it's great to hear that we were able to achieve that, or come close to it, Mr. Shazam. Yeah, I can tell you're a hungry leopard. I can tell you're a hungry leopard, so I won't hang out with you too long because I don't have any food, handsome. I know. And I can see, and we all know Shazam. Shazam is social to an extent. Shazam has his humans that he certainly prefers. I can think of Caretaker Elise, for example. But he's also smart and knows that even though food time is coming, he knows that it's not me. So I could tell that he was looking at me like he thought that I was the magical caretaker with a food bucket. But shrewd Shazam, he knows that I'm not, and onward and forward he goes. Kind of disappears there, and I'm getting bit up, Mr. Shazam. Magical Shazam, Betty Winter says. I think that's a great way to describe him. Hey, Pandora. Good morning to you. Oh, look at that, Shazam. A little balancing act as he climbs up his log to his platform. And leave it to him to still kind of hiss and tell me off. Looks like he's going up to his favorites, one of his favorite spots, that is. And there go Leo and Mansa, with Gino and Sophie joining in. Shazam's shaking some of that rainwater off those fancy black paws. Well, welcome. If anyone is just joining in, that is rescued black leopard Shazam settling in way up high in his free-roaming habitat to another day of living wild at heart. Shazam's got a handful of favorite hangout spots. It's for many of our rescues. They tend to find kind of predictable locations that they enjoy hanging out. And a black leopard like Shazam, who would like kind of the verticality and heights in the wild, he's often hanging up off of the ground. So there he is on the top platform. Shazam has a stretch of his skywalk where we'll commonly see him. And then probably the spot that's not only cool, but will get us to laugh every time he hangs out on it, is that log that is laying kind of horizontally across the screen. Well, Shazam will lay right on top of it and splay himself across it, both of his arms and legs hanging off of it, and is always worth a smile and a chuckle. You got a few favorite spots, don't you? He says, well, this one's for this time, and the other one's for that time, and this one's for when I'm feeling frisky. You got all the things. And so this is a fun little glimpse at Alyssa and her new habitat. And I also don't want to tease us too much, but later this week we're going to do a sanctuary stroll in woodlands where we kind of fully circumnavigate wild woodlands. Obviously, we've covered Thor's cat move, but it would have been last week that we would have updated sponsors on all of the exact cat moves that happened over here, and now it's time to update Facebook land. So rest assured, we're going to be doing a full loop around here in wild woodlands, but I think Alyssa is going to be the farthest that I'm going to go today. See if I can get that little leaf out of your pretty face there. There we go. And let's use this and zoom way in. I'll admit, and I'm laughing to myself, this is formerly Terek and Polina's habitat. You've heard Tammy mention, and we all know, let me get a mosquito off my eyebrow. we all know how much of a patroller Terek is. Terek is not only a patroller, Terek is also one of our largest rescued tigers. And Terek, bless his heart, just has a knack for destroying habitats. So I think we can see what it's like with a cat who's a little bit more delicate on their free-roaming habitat than a cat like Terek. We don't knock Terek. Terek's a tiger. Terek can be as destructive to his spaces as he wants to be. But it is it's worth acknowledging how destructive he can be, and again, we're totally fine with that, Terek. But quite the comparison, seeing a cat like Alyssa, who is maybe not as destructive as Terek, still certainly uses her habitat in a variety of ways, but quite the comparison. Yeah, Jenny, it's amazing is right. It is, Terek, he's a special dude, but as I've often been called in my life, he's a little bit of a bull in a china shop. He just likes crashing around. I'm going to jump over and maybe see if I can say hi to Griffen and Dimitri, and then I think I'll circle over, and Leo and Mansa are right on kind of their platform in the front of their habitat. So we'll be able to sign off with that couple. Yeah, and how true to her name, Betty. Alyssa, the gentle giant. And she even has a little bit of a green thumb, apparently, too. Griffen. Be Griffen up front, and of course we're right at the level where we can the second platform is kind of hidden by the platform we're on now, but that'd be Dimitri on the back platform. Be gone, mosquito. And Griffen sometimes can just want to have peace and quiet, and so I like keeping an eye on Griffen and what his eyes are doing and what his tail is doing, so I might not hang out too long. Let's see if I can get a different angle and zoom in on Mr. Handsome Dimitri. And these boys had their pools filled and watermelons placed, and at least this is a good example to help inform of what it's like with the aftermath of enrichment dirty. Cats means that caretakers are going to be coming in either to get the water and pools refilled and get some new enrichment placed. I'm also maybe hoping to see Henry and Haley while I'm down here, which would be very, very fun. Looks like I'm not going to get much from Dimitri either, besides a beautiful tiger butt. But we can never complain about that. Dimitri does have some great spot, a rather stripe pattern. How it kind of gets arrowy around his hips, more pointed. But looks like these boys are taking it easy. Looks like Griffen popped up his head here. They're taking it easy, and I'm going to keep on letting them do that. Daria is asking a very good question. I like any type of question like that where I can plug on how hard the caretaking work is here. And those pools, Daria, how are they emptied? Well, obviously, like our in-ground pools, we're not able just to kind of turn a drain and drain the water. We actually have to come in and bucket it out. We will bail out the pool until it's then light enough for us to be able to turn it over, and then we'll turn it over and kind of deposit the remaining amount of the water. So first we kind of get down and bend over, and you bail, which is probably about 15 or 25, and then we finally have it to kind of get under it and push it over. Spray it down, scrub it down, and then set it back upright to fill it with water. So yep, it's the stock tanks are certainly awesome, and admittedly too, those ones are smaller in volume than, for example, the ones that's in Pandora's habitat. Or no, that's also a shorter one. I think it's Winona's habitat. That's also deeper, and Daisy has a deeper stock tank too. So I thought Leo was on top of the platform. And you know, Jeremy, that's a good question. We have used the siphon, but the siphon just takes too long. And so obviously when caretakers are in the habitats, that means that the cats are shifted inside, and obviously just wanting to kind of minimize and be as efficient as possible. But yeah, the siphon seems like it would be a good idea, but it's really kind of bailing it and then being able to flip it over once it's light enough. Let's see. Yep, our precious caretakers. They are just kicking butt at every angle. And look at this, Miss Mansa. She's trying to get a better look at Thor Jr., who's up on his top platform. Yeah, speaking of, just wanting to kind of commend our caretakers, Ellen Simmons making an observation on Saturday about the sheer amount of greenery that we have here and its height. And yes, typically we're on kind of a bi-weekly mowing schedule. About every week and a half, 2 weeks is when we kind of have to go in and kind of reset some of the pathways, reset some of the areas where we shorten the grass for the cats to lay down. With the amount of rain that we've been having, Thor, it has turned into a weekly opportunity to have to get into these the yards and weed whip and mow and just kind of get them back down to zero. As you can see, mowing places like the edge of the pool, Thor Jr. is doing a good job of kind of folding over some of the grass here. But he still has plenty of pathways that need mowing throughout his habitat, even though he's a young and rambunctious cat. We want to make sure that we're also doing that for our rescues. Ooh, mosquito in my ear. Beverly Lawrence, looks like you have the same schedule with cleaning your kiddie pools at home. Probably a little bit easier to clean after human use than tiger use, though. Barbara S. asking, where is Olivia today? Olivia is kicking butt inside, as a matter of fact. It's Mondays. We have our morning media or development status meeting, and that kind of sets out a lot of chores that we have to do for the week, deadlines to hit. So she is kicking butt inside, and surely we will see her on a live post later this week. Liz Green saying, hi there, just joining. Glad to have you, Liz. Glad to have you. Admittedly, we are going to be wrapping up the live post soon. We've done a pretty solid sanctuary stroll. The internet got the best of us up top. We started out in small cat track. We did get a little something off, and we were able to visit with some serval groups, but then came down and jumped over, started out with Tacoma and the cougar group. I think I see Tacoma, the cougar, over here. And tiger Terek, tigers Polina, a little bit of lion Leo, a little bit of lion Mansa. Been able to get our licks in, haven't we, Mr. Tacoma? It'll be Tacoma up top on his den here. And the regal, Rainier, in the background there. Wondering how she'll take over the world today. Admittedly, I'm laughing to myself right now because if you were tuned in earlier, we saw cougar Denoma and Noah, who were rather damp, and we had a little bit of a rain shower this morning, and Tacoma here is about as dry as he can be, and Rainier is also quite dry. So this group looking like they took to their indoor bedrooms or their den box during that little rainstorm. Dave Lynch saying, glad the summer safari weather had better weather than today. It was great seeing the TWS crew again and meeting the people that go with the name so often in the comments. That's right, Dave. And first of all, thanks for commenting and thanks for making that day what it was. You're an awesome member of our volunteer team and are certainly integral to events like that. And that's what I love about seeing it too. It's, and we live in a unique world where, I kind of often associate, it's basically what I'm trying to say. It's nice to have a real face instead of a profile picture. And instead of just seeing a first and last name in the comments, to be able to have a face and a voice to that. So you're right. For taking it kind of virtually into real life is something that I value with those types of events too. You getting the paws clean, mister? Well, everyone. Like I said, we had a pretty solid sanctuary stroll today with a variety of rescued residents being featured. From cougars to tigers to servals. I think we only missed out on a bobcat, Mr. Tacoma. So don't worry, we still have a whole week in front of us and more live posts to come. Mentioned that we also wanted to really kind of update you on all the cat moves that have been happening right behind me in Wild Woodlands. Tiger moves primarily, so we can look forward to a good sanctuary stroll in Wild Woodlands, visiting with some of our rescued tigers like Dash, Indy, Nova, Miss Daisy. That'll be happening later this week. Looks like that cougar's gone and disappeared into their free-roaming habitat. So, certainly something to look forward to. And as always, Thursday, Tammy has her Wildcat wrap-up. And we have a whole host of fun frozen enrichment to give out that I'm expecting to be featuring on a live post too. So, with that, everyone, I'm happy, like I said, that we got a solid stroll in on this Monday and are kicking off a week with a good start here. So everyone, have a marvelous rest of your Monday today, and we look forward to seeing you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary soon. Bye, everyone.